and they tried to assassinate him twice. So he's been attacked more than any other president in history. And for him to even decide to run in 2024 is amazing, because he could have just retired and counted his money. But he wanted to do it because he wanted to try and fix the problems the country has, which is a very noble purpose. So he runs, and then his MAGA organization, this large body of middle-class Americans, have enough power to get him nominated and prevent anybody else from being nominated. So he becomes the nominee. And so then the Democrats are in the same position again. We got to stop this guy from running or winning, hence the 6 fake indictments that he was put under, and all the trials and all that stuff, all of which failed because they weren't the truth. And then when Biden dropped out, he endorsed Kamala Harris to be the nominee, which kind of tied the hands of the Democrats. They kind of had to go with her because he endorsed her. She was an awful candidate.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
Well, I'll get that in a second.
Okay.
He said when he named her that she was a DEI candidate. I'm nominating her to run with me because she's black and she's a woman. He said that. So she was an awful candidate because, she ran in 2019. She tried to run against Joe when he first got nominated. She ran a horrible campaign. She never won a single primary. She never got a single delegate. Her campaign staff was disorganized, unhappy, people quitting all the time. They couldn't stand her behavior. So the Democratic Party forgot about that for 4 years, and now she becomes the presidential candidate, and she has the same baggage. I don't know if you've listened to her talk or be questioned or anything, but she is unable to answer any question that's asked of her. All she does is provide what we call a word salad. Fancy philosophy around the question that doesn't get to the answer.
Yeah, I've seen some TikToks and Instagram reels of her describing the cloud. Someone asked her, "What is the cloud?" And she's like, "The cloud is up there and it's everywhere." Yeah. It sounds like she was just making up on the spot. She was not like, she did, instead of saying, "I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm gonna look it up," she just started making it up, and that doesn't convey a lot of trust, But
she's a unique personality because somehow, someplace earlier in her life, she was intimidated by, I don't know, strong people. I don't know what the genesis of this would be, but she developed this habit of answering in a very flowery, fancy way, and not, putting this word salad together, not answering the question. I don't know whether she doesn't feel confident that the answer she would give would be accepted by the questioner. I don't know the reason, but she can't do it. And so when she, right after the convention, and I don't know if you noticed this, they kept her hidden. They waited like a month to have her talk to any news people because they were afraid of what would happen if she did. And then at some point they had to let her talk, and it was a disaster. And that was part of the reason she lost. But the main reasons would be, first of all, she didn't make any convincing argument for her as a person to be elected. Nobody has any idea what she really thinks because she's been a radical left progressive most of her career and now claims that she isn't like that anymore. But she would never answer a question about why she wasn't like that anymore. And then she wouldn't differentiate herself from Joe Biden. I don't know if you've noticed that, but she was asked specifically on a show called The View here. They said, what would you do different than Joe Biden? And she said, I can't think of anything. Well, when you hear that, then you think, okay, she's identical with Joe Biden. And if we hate the way he's been president, we're not going to elect her. I mean, it's a pretty simple equation.
Yeah, of course.
So that brings us to the election and Trump's enormous victory. I mean, it's the greatest comeback in American political history.
One quick question before we move into Trump again. Did you see the earrings thing? Is that real? I saw like some.
I doubt it. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists in the United States. I don't know how many there are in Germany, but there's a lot of people here that don't trust anything.
Oh, okay.
And so I saw the earring thing and I saw something that said that isn't on the market yet, which means she couldn't have it. And I also wondered, how could a person be talking to her during or right before an answer she's supposed to give and make it make sense to her? It would be too hard to pull that off unless you knew the questions ahead of time, which she may have. Mm-hmm. So I didn't believe that.
Well, one thing's for sure, she's not wearing those earrings ever again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Sorry, we're going back to Trump. Yeah.
Well, so Trump got elected. It's the greatest comeback in American political history because it's a person who was down and out and had been president once and who was defeated and had everything thrown at him in between that defeat and this election, and he convinced the American people to elect him again. So it's an amazing story.
Oh, it is. But I would say Trump's story is amazing, even